The scene opens on a stark white room. The only object is a simple black stickman figure standing in the center. The lines are clean, the space empty, conveying a sense of profound isolation. There is no sound, the camera holds on the figure motionless. A soft digital chime breaks the silence. A translucent blue panel materializes in the air directly in front of the stickman. On it, glowing white letters spell out a stark, two-word classification. Rank, dead man walking. The notification hangs there for a moment. A cold, impersonal verdict in the sterile environment. The stickman does not react. His simple circular head remains facing forward, his posture unchanged. After a few seconds, the panel dissolves into pixels and vanishes, leaving the figure alone once more in the oppressive silence and whiteness of the room. The title card has been presented, and the finality of his status is understood without a single word spoken. The video transitions into a montage, a series of short detached scenes depicting the stickman's existence following his new classification. We see him walking down a long, featureless hallway. Other stickman figures, identical in their basic form, pass by him without a glance, their movements fluid and purposeful. They move in groups or pairs, their simple form suggesting interaction and community from which he is now completely excluded. He is a ghost among them, present in form but absent in their reality. The camera follows him as he enters a large minimalist cafeteria. Rows of identical tables and stools fill the space. Other figures sit, their heads tilted towards each other in what could be conversation. He moves to an empty table in the corner and sits alone. No one approaches, no one acknowledges his presence. The world continues its simple, rhythmic pace around him, but he is no longer a part of its rhythm. Each scene is brief, clinical, and underscores his profound isolation. The world is not hostile. It is indifferent, which is somehow worse. The montage concludes, and the scene returns to the stickman sitting alone in the white room from the introduction. The silence is broken by the sound of a door sliding open off-screen. Two other stickman figures enter. They are identical to the others, but their posture is rigid, official. They walk on either side of the protagonist, their movements synchronized. They do not touch him, but their presence is an undeniable command. He rises slowly, his movements deliberate, and falls into step between them. They escort him out of the room and into a long, dark hallway, a stark contrast to the white spaces seen before. The only light source is a brilliantly lit doorway at the far end of the corridor. The trio walks towards it, their simple forms silhouetted against the growing light. The walk is long and silent, a funereal procession down a path with only one possible destination. The darkness of the hallway seems to absorb all sound, creating a vacuum where the only reality is the inexorable forward motion toward the light. They arrive at the threshold. The two escorts stop, flanking the doorway, their duty complete. The protagonist now stands alone facing the brightly lit door. The light emanating from it is pure, blinding white, so intense that it washes out any detail of what might lie beyond. It is not warm or inviting, but absolute and all-consuming. After a moment of stillness, a single final moment of his known existence, he lifts one leg. He takes a single, deliberate step forward, crossing the threshold from the darkness of the hallway into the overwhelming, featureless light. As his foot makes contact with the unseen ground beyond the door, the screen immediately cuts to white and the video ends.
A solitary stickman awakens in a room defined by simple, flat colors. The familiar lines of his home offer a sense of normalcy, a quiet start to just another day. He stretches his featureless limbs, the world around him a canvas of uncomplicated shapes and solid hues. But as he steps outside, the ordinary shatters. The gazes of other stick figures, usually blank and indifferent, now fix upon him. Their simple, circular heads are tilted with expressions he can't quite decipher, a mixture of deep pity and a strange, unnerving fear. The air, once neutral, now feels heavy with unspoken words, and the clean 2D world seems to shrink around him. Every person he passes turns to stare, their eyes following his every move until he is out of sight, leaving him isolated in a crowd. He tries to dismiss the unsettling feeling, continuing with his daily routine. Yet the world seems determined to remind him that something is profoundly wrong. At a newsstand, a headline catches his eye, not for its content, but for the photograph beside it. His own face, a simple circle with 2 dots for eyes and a line for a mouth, stares back at him from the obituary page. A cold wave of confusion washes over him. He walks on, hoping to find reassurance in the familiar faces of friends and neighbors, but they offer none. Those he has known for years now avert their gazes, their shoulders tense as he approaches. Some turn away completely, pretending not to see him, as if he were a ghost they'd all agreed to ignore. The world, once his own, now feels like a place seen through a thick pane of glass, distant, muffled, and utterly disconnected from his reality. The mounting anxiety becomes unbearable. He feels like a phantom in his own life, a spectator to a play where he is the unwilling subject. Driven by a desperate need for answers, he approaches a stranger, a lone figure standing by a wall. His voice, usually unheard in this silent world, feels loud and shaky as he asks the question that has been clawing at his mind. Why? Why is everyone looking at me like that? What is happening? He gestures around, his movements frantic, pleading for an explanation, for anything to break the suffocating silence. The stranger, another simple stick figure, doesn't speak. Instead, he slowly raises a hand and points towards a calendar hanging on the wall. The gesture is deliberate, heavy with a meaning the stickman cannot yet comprehend but instinctively fears. His eyes follow the stranger's pointed finger to the calendar. Today's date is circled in a stark blood-red ink. Next to the circle, a crudely drawn skull serves as a grim punctuation mark. Time seems to stop as he stares at the simple, damning symbols. The confusion on his face slowly melts away, replaced by a quiet, profound understanding. There is no shock, no denial, just a calm acceptance of a truth he doesn't need to question. He doesn't know why this day is his last or how it came to be, but the certainty of it settles upon him like a final, peaceful weight. With a newfound serenity, he walks to a nearby bench and sits down. He watches the other stick figures go about their lives, their world continuing on without him. He takes one last, long look at the simple beauty of it all as the scene, and his existence, slowly fades to black.